It is absolutely huge. What the details which we've been able to get exclusively on NDTV 24/7 over the last couple of hours. This is directly associated with the Ayodhya dispute and a clear sign of a major breakthrough ahead of the verdict, which is going to come in a few weeks from now. Today was the last day of the hearing, but details are emerging of a breakthrough which has been achieved. Hopefully, this is the Supreme Court mediation panel which has submitted its report to the court today. What exactly has the mediation panel said? They've said that the provisions of the 1991 Act, which protects all places of worship, must be strictly implemented. That was very clear, never in dispute. The Waqf Board can submit a select list of mosques under the Archaeological Survey of India, and a committee appointed by the court will finalize the same for offering worship in those places. The question is, why would they do this? And here's the main point. The Waqf Board has, according to what we are learning, no objection to the acquisition of the disputed site by the government. The Waqf Board has no objection to the acquisition of the disputed site by the government. Existing mosques in Ayodhya will be renovated by the government. The Waqf Board can build a mosque at any other suitable place. Hindu parties have given a suggestion for a Ram temple, the scheme of the Ram temple at the site. So the implication over here is that the land would go to the government and there would eventually be a Ram temple, the plan of which has been given. Very importantly, in the context of peace in our country, a national institution for harmony between communities will be set up in Ayodhya. Mahant Dharamdas and Sri Aurobindo's ashram have come forward to offer their land in Ayodhya for such an institution. One more point over here, critical. The main parties who signed the agreement were the Sunni Waqf Board, the Nirvani Akhada, the parent body of the Nirmohi Akhada, which has been a party to the dispute, the Ram Janambhoomi Punrudha, represented by the Shankaracharya of Dwarka, and the Hindu Mahasabha. So this appears to include all of the key players in this case. Lots of reactions to what happened in court as well earlier today. Heated proceedings. Let's listen in.
I am very happy because after 40 days of continuous hearing in this matter and the dispute pertaining to 490 years back, today finally the judgment has been reserved. So it's a very great day for all the parties who have contested this case. Written submissions molding of the relief पे और कोर्ट ने इस मामले में जजमेंट रिजर्व कर लिया है, फैसला सुरक्षित कर लिया है. अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट 17 नवंबर से पहले कभी भी फैसला सुना सकता है.
हमारा तो उम्मीद 200% है कि अवश्य होगा राम जी के पक्ष में. हाँ, अब देखिए, करना तो भगवान के है, करना तो है जज को है, लेकिन हमारा कागज से लेकर के रामलला वहाँ बैठे हुए हैं. रामलला के हटाने के कोई चांसे नहीं है, कहें कि रामलला जहाँ वो अनादिकाल के उस जगह के हम लोग पूछते हैं, तो इसलिए हमारा मंदिर बनेगा. आप देखते रहिए.
It is one of the most important cases for the future of India, for secularism, for democracy, for constitutional guarantees, for dignity of courts. So the court has devoted its time, fullest time, which the court could devote. And in a very cordial atmosphere, the court has concluded the hearing. Now let us wait for everything that comes out of this hearing. It will be in the best interest of the country.
All right, so those were reactions to what happened in court earlier on today. But the big point, the Supreme Court mediation panel submitting its report to the court today and clear signs of a breakthrough ahead of the verdict. For more on that, it's across now to Sanket Upadhyay. So through the course of this dispute, a lot of people have tried to offer their solutions, their ideas. One such person who also in fact a part of a Muslim brotherhood, a Muslim group of intellectuals who were trying to offer a solution is Lieutenant General Zamiruddin Shah. Lieutenant General Shah, welcome to NDTV. My first question to you is, you have always believed that attempting to find a solution in this case is very important because, as you said in the past also, this seems to be a losing argument for the Muslims. So what, according to you, was the best thing to do instead of contesting this in court?
No, I don't think there's a losing argument. I think it is an argument for sensibility. I mean, for using senses. I feel that in a court verdict, there will be a winner and a loser. We should not have any losers. We should all have winners. And I say never give up. I am aware that this is rather late in the day, but still we have never given up, and we feel that an out-of-court settlement would be the best for the country, for the amity of the country, and for increasing the Muslim-Hindu brotherhood.
Now, Lieutenant General Shah, there are reports coming in that the mediation panel report has been submitted, and one of the points that is being spoken about, and this is by way of sources, is that the Sunni Waqf Board will not have any objection in handing over or allowing the government to acquire the site. Do you see this as some sort of a breakthrough? However, there is a rider. Not all stakeholders agree to this solution.
Well, certainly this offer is very sensible, but what you have not mentioned is the riders. The two important riders are, firstly, there should be no repeat of what happened in Ayodhya. The Muslims want cast iron guarantees that this will never happen again. And secondly, what we want is the teeth should be given to the Preservation of Places of Worship Act, the Amendment Act 1991. I think it does not have teeth enough. It is a very weak law, and anybody can violate it with impunity. So we want it to become more stringent. I think in case these two things are met, the Muslim personal law, the people who have agreed to hand over the land are well within their rights. That is the Sunni Waqf Board.
Now, Lieutenant General Shah, your own suggestion that the land be gifted for the construction of a temple to the majority community has been greeted with a lot of skepticism, particularly by stakeholders in the Muslim side. Were you expecting this, and do you feel that this will only go ahead and create animosity and not find an amicable solution?
I was expecting a backlash. I have received a lot of messages saying that what I am wrong, but what they don't know is that 10 times more I have received messages of support from a wide cross-section of Muslims who do not want to come out openly, but they have sent me messages saying that the stand we have taken for a compromise, for amity, for peace in the country is absolutely correct.
Well, the Muslim stakeholders, Lieutenant General Shah, say that mediation cannot mean that we give up our claim. How would you respond to that? Because the feeling is that they're giving up. They're giving up the fight.
No, we are not giving up the fight. We are adopting a sensible approach. Giving up a fight is in case you win and then are not able to reconstruct the mosque, which I have told them is an impossibility. That would be giving up, that would be surrender. After winning, surrender. Before a court verdict, if we reach an agreement, it is not giving up the fight, it is just a move towards peace and amity.
All right. Lieutenant General Shah, my final question to you before I let you go. There are, in fact, murmurs that usually when people try mediating and try offering solutions, perhaps, and more so in a case like this, they may be doing it out of some interest, political interest, if you were, particularly in this case. Have you ever been pressurized or told to say what you do or the suggestion that you gave by a particular political party or political interests?
Let me make it clear. I have never been pressurized right during my service of 40 years in the army and also when I was Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, because people know me well enough. I will not, I repeat, never and not ever succumb to pressure.
All right. Lieutenant General Shah, we leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us right here on NDTV.
Well, one of the developments over here, the decision which has actually come out now, which ensures that a breakthrough has taken place of the Waqf Board stating that they have no objection to the disputed land actually being given to the government. That's the key point. Arunachalam Vaidyanathan joins us for more on this. Vaidya, what are some of the other key details, and is there full consensus as this appears to indicate?
See, this is what sources told us. This report has been submitted to the Supreme Court. This is a revival of the mediation panel. You see, first mediation panel, there was no consensus, it failed. So suddenly some parties approached the mediation panel. So Supreme Court said you can revive, but the hearing will go on. Today it's completed. So on the final day, the second mediation report has been submitted. But interestingly, this is not a consensus report. If you go to the last para, which basically says that Nirvani Akhada, Sunni Waqf Board and Dwarka Sankaracharya have met. But the main parties here are Ram Lalla and Nirmoy Akhada and other parties. They are not signatories to this settlement. So it seems it's not consensus whether it will take part or not. Another interesting point, Vishnu, tomorrow the Ayodhya bench is sitting in chamber. Chambers mean they are not sitting in the open court. We don't know why they are sitting. It has been put on the Supreme Court website that all the 5 judges would be sitting in the chambers. So it may be to discuss this report. We are not sure, but we can't speculate also. But it gives more prominence saying that the 5 judges sitting in chambers, why should it be put up on the website? So it seems to be some importance. So Ayodhya case is not all yet over.
All right, it's not all over. Today was the last day of the hearings, the 40-day process, day-to-day hearings. The verdict comes out in a few weeks. Mamta Kale joins us at this stage, as does the senior advocate Shamshad between the studio. Thanks very much for joining us. Mamta Kale, what's been decided thus far in the submission by the Supreme Court mediation panel says that the Waqf Board has no objection to the acquisition of the disputed site by the government and that existing mosques in Ayodhya need to be renovated by the government. Is this not a win-win solution?
Well, Vishnu, the 40-day court war has come to an end today, and they have gone through the final hearing, and the verdict has been reserved. We all are going to welcome, respect and accept the verdict given by our court. One of the Sunni board member has come on camera and accepted that the court has given a fair chance to all 3 parties to present their case. So now whatever decision we will be getting in time to come, I am sure it is going to be in favor of our nation and everyone, and we all are here to welcome the decision given or taken by our court and honorable judges.
Shamshad, the main parties who signed the agreement, the Sunni Waqf Board, the Nirvani Akhada, which is the parent body of the Nirmohi Akhada, so there is representation over there, though they weren't directly signatories. The Ram Janam Bhoomi Punrudhar, represented by the Shankaracharya, and also the Hindu Mahasabha. I'm just trying to understand, how does this not represent all the major parties over here? Is this not some sort of a consensus which has been arrived at?
See, in my opinion, it can't be consensus. When the suit was filed in Ayodhya and later on it was transferred to the High Court, there is a provision that once such litigations are fought, then if that pertains to community at large, then you take permission from the court that I want to contest this litigation or fight this litigation on behalf of the community. There are 6 Muslim parties in addition to Sunni Waqf Board who are parties to this litigation from Muslim side in representative capacity of Muslim community at large.
They represent the other bodies?
They represent Muslim community at large, because
no, but not the the 5 other Muslim bodies who are a party. They don't represent
They
them?
are individuals, residents of Ayodhya, who have taken upon themselves to represent the community at large, and that's how this litigation is contested. Now the question is that whether Sunni Waqf Board can take this burden upon itself and take a call that I am ready to surrender it. In my opinion, this Sunni Waqf Board is a merely regulatory body.
If not Sunni, a representative body.
No, this could be in some other sense could be representative body, but they don't have any authority to take a decision to surrender something which he regulates for the community.
Then who does?
The community, the community will have to go to the court and say.
And so you're saying that they are not the community.
See, this is merely a regulatory body to regulate the affairs of the Waqf properties. That's it.
No, but do they not represent the Muslim community in the Ayodhya case? That's always been the case.
That is one of the
They've
parties.
always been the most representative party.
That is one of the parties.
The others are individuals, right?
Others are individuals. They have equal locus as Sunni Waqf Board has. Sunni Waqf Board doesn't have additional.
Okay, that's an important point. Mamta, do you want to come in over here that in terms of the signatories to the agreement, what we are seeing now is not conclusive. There were 6 Muslim parties, one of which was the Sunni Waqf Board. The others, represented by individuals, according to Shamshad, have equal locus standi. So therefore, what we are seeing over here, if someone were to argue, is not representative of millions in this country, of Muslims. Would that not be a fair way of looking at things?
See, as far as the whole nation is concerned and everyone is concerned, it was understood that Sunni Waqf Board and other members were representing the entire Muslim community as far as this case is concerned in the court. A. B. I am not sure whether Sunni Waqf Board has accepted or agreed to give up or surrender their part of land which they claim that it's theirs, and which was given to them as per the decision taken in 2010. If they have done it, I am sure they would have thought about it, and they would have spoken to each other, and then after brainstorming they would have taken this decision. And if they have taken this decision, it is their decision. I am sure the entire community will welcome it. And in fact, I have heard one of the Muslim brothers saying that if at all this decision has been taken, and if this decision has been given by Sunni Waqf Board and others on behalf of the Muslim fraternity, then we welcome it, because we want peace.
Right.
So if this is the case, then it's really good.
All right, well, let's see what happens. 8 suggestions which have been made in the Supreme Court mediation panel report submitted right at the end of these proceedings. We'll take a short break.